Tasburgh House in the historic city of Bath was one of the nicest hotels I've ever been called in to help. It just had very few guests. This is the story of how I helped hotelier Sue Keeling turn round her business from both my own point of view.
I was the woman that she is now. I used to spend a fortune on flowers and all the fripperies.
And from hers.
If my mother was still alive, I think I'd go crying to her.
With a chance to see how the business is doing 18 months after my first visit.
We call this Ruth.
I'm in Bath. It's a really fine city and there's plenty of tourists, winter and summer, foreign and British. Most of the hotels here, and there's about 120 of them, do really well, whatever the season. But I'm going to go and visit Tasburgh, and Tasburgh is not doing well. Susan, who owns it, has got a very poor occupancy rate, and despite having 5 diamonds and apparently really good credentials, she's not filling the place. Now, obviously something's going wrong.
I'm absolutely over the moon that Ruth should be coming and excited at the prospect of someone who's going to come in and look objectively at my entire business. I have absolutely no qualms about her criticising things. I hope that she will be able to come up with the most magnificent idea that I haven't thought of, nor has anybody else, in order to increase the guest accommodation levels here. Especially for my staff, because they've been through thick and thin with me. They've been so loyal and worked so hard.
I actually came for only 3 months and I stayed for just over 10 years. So it can't be a bad place to work, can it?
I think the hotel is Sue, her hospitality, her friendliness. She puts so much of herself into it.
It's a beautiful place, we all know it is, and we all appreciate working here. But she has to come to some understanding with herself.
It's become a worry. I'm still determined to make a success of it somehow. But the fact is, it is reality that I'm not making enough money. What I'm genuinely desperate for is for somebody who understands this business, could come in objectively and pull it apart if necessary, tell me where I'm going wrong, encouraging me as to perhaps the areas that I am doing right. Good afternoon.
You have the most beautiful front door.
Thank you. You must be Ruth.
I am.
Lovely to meet
What
you,
do
and thank you so much for coming.
Well, I hope I'm going to be of some help.
I hope so too.
It's very nice to meet you. It's a beautiful building.
Well, I hope you like it.
What
Well,
colour
this
is
is
Squeaky?
Charlie, the African grey. He's just been saying hello.
Does he talk a lot?
He says hello and Charlie in about 10 different voices, and apart from that, he mimics a cat.
So he doesn't
mimics
say,
the telephone.
have a nice day or anything like that?
Not apparently, no.
Is he a new boy?
He's 17 now.
You haven't taught him a great deal.
Well, it would seem not, but he hasn't listened.
I hope that Charlie's owner didn't suffer from the same affliction. My first impressions of both Sue and the Tasburgh were good. A nicely kept building with a friendly hostess. I couldn't understand why the hotel wasn't full of guests.
Just being in the town earlier on today, the amount of visitors that you have got, there is no reason on earth why your occupancy should be as low as it is. What do you think about your rates? Do you think they're fair for the area or fair for what you're providing? How do
Yes,
you
I do.
see them?
That they reflect the cost that or the money I've spent in the rooms. And for the area, I mean, the rates in Bath are very high.
Have you got a database together?
Yes, I have.
So how many names?
But I don't
addresses?
use it. I haven't used it.
You don't use it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, this is the point where I want to tear my hair out.
If you mean using it from the point of view of then sending out mail shots, I've
don't.
never done that.
Why?
Well, I may be, and perhaps I am totally wrong, I feel if people want to take a holiday or take a break or go back to the place they've already stayed in, they don't need reminding.
It was clear that I'd found a key problem. Sue had perfected her product, but then sat back and expected customers to flood in. She was of the opinion that touting for business was not the done thing. The result was an empty hotel. After this illuminating chat, Sue showed me up to my bedroom, the Tennyson suite.
Here we are, Ruth. I hope you like your room.
Thank
Make
you.
yourself comfortable. That's your room key. So
Okay.
I'll leave that there for you.
Thank you.
Please make yourself at home. You're actually our only guest, so have a wander as you wish.
You can sleep in every
And
bed.
if you need. Okay.
Thank you very much, Susan. I'll see you later. Yes, bye.
I took Sue up on her offer and had a good look round. The housekeeping was of an excellent standard, and the rooms were very well maintained, if a little old-fashioned. But there were bears everywhere. There was also a series of expensive fripperies that added little value but cost a fortune.
This is this bloody pack she's paying £4.80 for.
I settled down for the night to think about how we could address the shortage of guests.
Looking at this tariff here, it's £130 a night. Well, out of season, you're not going to get it. Nobody's going to come here and say, yeah, that's the best room I've ever been in, that's worth every penny. They're going to look at it and think, what is she doing, charging this amount of money? I was the woman that she is now. I used to spend a fortune on flowers and all the fripperies. Once you realise that you're actually bleeding financially and you can't sleep at night, you've just got to stop it. You've got to wake up to the reality. I mean, this room's called Tennyson. Tell me, what's this bear to do with Tennyson? He's got, I think it's a naval uniform. Let's get rid of all this junk. And I think that there's nothing wrong with this place at all, that a bit of trimming around the edges won't sort out. Got to get onto all the right websites, in the right places, with the right prices, and I really don't think we can fail.
Downstairs, after a long day, a tired Sue seemed to have lost a little of her initial enthusiasm.
At the moment, I feel a little punch-drunk from disappointment that there hasn't been anything positive in what I've been trying to achieve. But let's face it, that's why she's here. I'm empty and I need some help. And I've got to not be on the defensive side and stop trying to say, well, I did that because it's history now. I've got to look forward, and I'm very happy that she's willing to take me apart, even if it hurts. If my mother was still alive, I think I'd go crying to her.
The following morning, after a competent breakfast, I sat down with Sue to share my thoughts on how to raise her occupancy levels.
You know, I had a really nice night's sleep, lovely linen.
Overall, Sue was doing a good job, but there were a handful of minor issues that I needed to address. However, the main thing we had to do was lower the room rates and launch a much stronger marketing campaign. As I left, I felt that Sue was invigorated and would throw herself into the tasks that I had set for her. I wanted to get Sue out of her comfort zone, so arranged for her to go to the UK's largest hotel industry trade fair, Hotelolympia, in London's Docklands. With over 60,000 square feet of trade stands, this was the perfect place for Sue to find the answers to some of Tasburgh's underperforming areas.
Look at that.
I'd asked her to do some research into how to address a number of shortcomings that I'd pointed out during my first stay in Bath.
Thank you very much indeed. Tell me about this orange juice. Is it really out of oranges that you squeezed?
Yes.
Really?
No, I didn't squeeze them.
Who
They're
squeezed
freshly
them?
squeezed.
In a carton?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a fairly small hotel,
Okay.
but we wanted to be doing fresh juice each morning.
These machines will squeeze enough juice to fill one of these, 6 of these in a minute basically. It's more than enough.
Yes.
Now, my immediate thing at looking about this is that they've made the French toast with already sliced bread.
One of the things Ruth mentioned about the French toast, it should always be made with newly sliced bread. It would be wonderful to have a big display and have the guests just slice it themselves as they want to have it.
I really don't like this kind of Radio Times 1973 cover with a tassel on it. It's like some horrible old tea shop, isn't it?
I think that looks rather nice. Can you do it in an A5?
Yes,
you could.
In an A5, yes, because it's our own designs and it's not a problem.
To round off the day, I'd arranged for Sue to meet Bob Cotton, chairman of the British Hospitality Association, to discuss the US guests who had gone AWOL.
Thank you.
Well, I think the particular issue with Americans is they're demanding customers, and they've become even more demanding over the years than...
Bob thought that Tasburgh House sounded ideal for Americans. He recommended a marketing campaign that specifically targeted the American market, both online and through guidebooks.
Because astonishingly now, a small business with a good website can actually be on a par with the Hiltons or the Marriotts of life, because you can put your product in front of a worldwide audience.
Armed with lots of information and ideas, Sue returned to Bath. 18 months ago, Sue Keeling called on me to help save her 5-diamond hotel in Bath from financial ruin. Despite offering a good product, Sue had staggeringly low occupancy levels. My advice was that she should remedy a few minor issues, including ditching the teddy bears from the rooms. But the main thrust should be on marketing the hotel. Sue turned to her son Xavier, a design consultant, to help her revitalise the publicity materials and website.
Created some exclusive special offers to tempt you back to the Tasburgh House this spring, saving you nearly 50% on your normal rates.
Wow, I would go for it. It's a very daring idea because it is actually giving a lot away. But nevertheless, based on a Sunday to Thursday, which is when I need to fill the hotel desperately, I'd be very, very happy with that. Mm-hmm. Could we charge them twice as much for the 2 nights? No, it's the way we have to go to have a sense of appeal.
Indeed, yeah.
And you've got the spring weekend breaks and the midweek break here. It's gorgeous.
With Sue finally starting to think like a businesswoman, I returned to Bath to see how she was getting on.
Ruth, hello.
Charlie whistling.
While I was pleased that she was cracking on with the marketing campaign, she hadn't got the flowers quite right yet.
Very pleasant treatment. It's got some nice photographs and shots. The wording is very cosy, but it's not saying get off your ass and get down to my hotel now because I need you, okay? I think it's still a little bit too crowded. I think I'd like to see some more air and space in it so that the words spring off the pages, particularly the key ones, because on this one, this is nice chit-chat, right? But it's chit-chat. It's just blurb. And the offer, look, saving you nearly 50% on your normal rates. That is the big, big thing. That's the thing.
So this is really the key thing,
yeah,
just this
we've got to
part
make
here.
that shout much, much louder without being coarse and common. Okay?
There was one other thing I wanted to check up on.
Wordsworth one.
What is that bloody bear doing still on the bed?
Well-
now come on, Sue. It's me that likes bears and you that doesn't like bears.
Absolutely
and the
right.
bloody bear is still on the bed. I just want to know that on my next visit they're not going to be
They
here.
will be out. Come on, Keats.
Finally listening to my advice, Sue collected up some of the bears for a little outing. Sarah Sellers runs a specialist doll and teddy bear shop.
Are you Sarah?
I am, yeah, hi.
Well, I've 12 bears who are needing a new home. I've actually got a hotel in Bath, and the bears have been part of the theme of the rooms, replicating English authors.
OK, let's have a look. Oh, that's a nice bear. She's got a sort of Victorian look to her. Now, who's she?
She's Charlotte Bronte.
Who else have we got here?
This is H.G. Wells.
Right.
He has H.G. on his collar, as you see. Would you have a gut feel as to their value?
What did you pay for them?
Well, around £200 each.
Yeah. Now, if I was to see them in the market, I personally wouldn't pay more than about £50 for them as they are. If you were to put them on eBay, I shouldn't think you'd get much more than that.
If, in fact, the only option was to sell them for the £50 area, I would keep them. I think that would be foolish, silly and ridiculous.
It seemed that Sue had found an excuse to keep the dreaded bears, at least for the time being. Back at Tasburgh House, the Conservatory was full of activity. I believe the room had great potential, but was underused because of the furniture and horrible blinds. My team stripped the room right back, creating a contemporary look with not a hint of pink. With the work finished, the new conservatory was an ideal place to hold a party. But it wouldn't just be Sue's friends attending. The guest list would include people who could help promote Tasburgh House. Sue had tracked down local frontline staff who deal with tourists on a daily basis. I'd invited journalist Simon Calder, travel editor of The Independent, as well as inspectors from the top 2 American guidebooks, Frommer's and Fodor's.
Thanks for coming. Welcome.
To encourage press to cover the event, we'd also invited the actress Roberta Taylor, who stars in the bill, and who was in Bath to promote her autobiography. The party seemed to be going well, but when it came to the speeches, an exhausted Sue almost offended her guest of honour.
But she's here today in Bath, launching her book called Too Many Mothers. I haven't had the pleasure yet of reading beyond page 1 because I fell asleep because it was 1:30 in the morning.
She fell asleep reading page 1.
I got through page 1 and I just can't wait to read the rest, and I'm not just... No, well, anyway, I want to make it a very special welcome for you tonight.
Well, this is lovely.
I do appreciate you being here.
Thanks very much.
So, Rebecca.
Well, I met Sue, as she said, on Saturday when I was doing...
But despite the clangor, it seemed that Roberta was impressed.
It's really fabulous, this house, and your wine is very good.
And
there's a parrot that gives you a wolf whistle the minute you walk through the door, which is... You think, oh. But, you know, I'm grateful for small mercies, actually.
The party had gone well, and a host of people who could direct business towards Tasburgh House had enjoyed their evening. I hoped that along with the changes we'd made over the past few months, this would lead to Sue having a much healthier occupancy level.
Well, immediately after the programme, the day after, I mean, it was manic. I mean, we had so many emails. Sue spent most of the day answering emails, and there were 2 of us just answering phone calls.
The response was intriguing, that so many people were actually quite anxious for the bears' sake, and which I thought was quite extraordinary. We had some wonderful email letters begging that we should keep the bears, that it made the place slightly original, and that what harm were they doing.
There was a great support the bear faction coming in, so which was good. I mean, I think the bears are just a feature of the hotel, and I mean, it makes it look homely. I'm a definitely pro-bear man myself.
So that's why the bears are still in the room.
So I'd been defeated on the bear front, even though I'm still sure that the people who love bears are just an extremely vocal minority. Despite ignoring me about the bears, it seemed that Sue had listened to me in other areas.
We call this Ruth. Why have I got it? Because of Ruth. For Ruth. And for my guests. It does actually secure the vitamin C content, and so my guests can get healthy vitamin C in the morning.
But the most important question was whether we'd managed to increase Sue's very low 35% occupancy level.
Since Ruth's arrival, we're now running at 85%. In the bad winter period, it's been 71%, which is more than enough to survive on.
That was an incredible improvement, and it meant that the bank were no longer on her case. With additional income from the extra guests, Sue had been able to begin work to improve the gardens.
The income is now great enough to be able to put more investment into the property and hopefully more facility for the guests. So we've put an extra patio out here for more seating area, and this is going to be a fountain. And then lower down We've got more tables and chairs and beautiful new steps down.
And best of all, the new-look Tasburgh House had made it into the American guides.
Since Ruth's arrival, the business has gone from strength to strength, I have to say. It's been amazing, absolutely amazing.
Of all the hoteliers I'd worked with in this series, Sue had been the most willing to listen to and, more importantly, act on my advice. It was refreshing to work with somebody who really embraced my suggestions. And the greatest reward was to see that she was doing so well as a result.
Ruth is someone that I've got tremendous respect for because she's a very successful businesswoman, and what she says is not because she feels she's right, it's because she's proved she's right. So I think anyone who actually turns a blind eye to her suggestions, a bit crazy really, and certainly I've taken on board her suggestions and they've worked.